Hey everybody, in this video we're covering a backward break fall. The idea with a break fall is to distribute the force of our fall over time while protecting our brain and protecting our appendages. Our brain's very selfish. That's why you naturally reach down to catch yourself with your hands or with your elbows when you fall, because your brain says, I want to protect me, which is good for your brain but not so good in a fight, because if you break an appendage falling, then now you don't have the use of that appendage, or at least the full use of that appendage for the rest of the fight. So what we're going to do is learn a backward break fall, so that if you're falling, maybe you're running away and you trip backwards, or maybe somebody pushes you and you fall backwards, we're going to learn how to deal with that. If I were to fall straight back like a tree, then I would hit the floor with my whole body at once, and that would be incredibly painful, and I would probably bounce my head off the mat. That'd be really bad for my brain, okay? Because it would bounce my brain around in my skull and do some damage there. I don't want to do that. Even on squishy mats, it's not very comfortable, okay? It can do some damage. Particularly if you're in self-defense situation where you are out in the street, maybe in Walmart, maybe in your house, you can fall back and really damage things. So when I fall, I want to fall in pieces. I know that sounds silly, but here's what I mean. Instead of allowing my body to stay stiff as I fall, I want to crumple. Just like the crumple zones in a car absorb the impact of a crash, I want to be the crumple zone. So as I fall, I'm going to step back and bend the knee. Now this may catch me, that'd be great. But if I'm already falling quickly, that may not be enough to catch me. So I step back and I bend my knees. I want my tush to hit the ground first, all right? So I bend my knees and then I stick my rear out and make my back round like an egg. Generally, when we're talking about traditional martial arts, we say, okay, we want you to be nice and straight and have great posture, which is awesome until you fall. When you're falling, you want to be round, okay? I'm going to tuck my chin to my chest. From here, as I fall, I'm going to pull my hands up in front of me. Now, if you're defending against somebody who's striking you or pushing you, your hands are probably already going to be up in front of you, which is great. From here, my rear is going to hit the ground first. Then I roll through my back. Then, keeping my chin tucked, I'm going to counterbalance my head with my feet. I'm going to let them come up off the floor, just like a seesaw. If you have somebody heavy on the other end of the seesaw, it's hard to make your body go down. Well, my legs are heavier than my head. So I'm rocking across my back, my feet are counterbalancing my head. The last thing you want to do is to slap onto the floor with your hands. There are two reasons we do this. Number one, it allows us to distribute the force of our fall into our arms, not just into our back. Number two, it stops us from reaching back to catch ourselves. So it looks like this. As I fall, my hands slap out. Now that makes a really loud noise whenever we hit the floor, and so if people haven't seen a break fall before, they might be unnerved by that loud noise. It's not you hitting the ground really hard, it's just distributing the force across your hands. When you do that, make sure you hit with the palms of your hands, not the backs of your hands. There's a lot of meat here that's designed to protect your hands, and there's not a lot here, so that can really hurt, especially if you fall on concrete. The other thing is make sure your chin stays tucked so that you don't allow your head to bounce off the floor. This takes a little bit of practice, and you may have to do some extra sit-ups or crunches to get used to curling that in and using those neck muscles to protect yourself. So if I were to do it full speed, maybe I'm falling backwards, all of a sudden I step, and I fall. Couple of important things. When you fall, don't slap out until the bottom edge of your shoulder blade hits the mat. If you slap out too early, then you do end up kind of stopping yourself on the mat with your elbows. You can really damage or dislocate your elbow or your shoulder in doing that. So slap out later than you think you need to. Secondly, make sure that your arms are at an A. If you go straight out like this, you can damage things in your shoulder like your rotator cuffs, and we don't want to do that. So we want to go like an A here. All right, let me show you that one time from the front. From here, I'm falling, I step back, bend, curl, slap out, and here I am again, ready to go into the fight. The great thing about bringing your legs up is that it allows you to defend from the attacker. Once you've fallen, boom, your feet are now between you and the attacker, and you can use those big leg muscles to fight them off. All right, guys, there's your backward break fall. Make sure you work on that in a safe environment. I do recommend practicing on a padded surface first. If you're working at home, maybe don't jump on the bed to do this, but practice in a safe environment where your parents or your downstairs neighbor have given you permission to do. And I hope you keep training, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next video.